works. Okay guys, so as a collaborated effort, we as a shop, starting with my design, completed this. We had Cam's help, Adaraj's help, Dylan's help, Jack's help, everybody, powder coating, to make this what it is. And it is basically an excellent example of a original suspension compared to the replacement angle kit suspension that we offer. This specific display was designed around the Corvette chassis. Seemed fitting. We do a lot of Corvette stuff. I built a Corvette, I drive a Corvette. It can really well illustrate what's going on a front suspension setup. So I'm gonna talk about how I built this thing and why I built it and what it shows you within probably a 3 to 5% accuracy margin. Obviously there's a little bit of play, there's a little bit of difference. We don't have an actual steering rack installed on this. But what's really interesting that you can already tell is that one turns way further than the other. The left side of a Corvette, left side of an original suspension Corvette. On this dial, you're seeing 60 degrees of angle, and with the same amount of stroke, you're seeing 40 degrees of angle on the original setup. If we turn the other way, you're gonna see, basically, this has our 0 Ackerman plate installed. With our 0 Ackerman plate, you're also gonna see 60 degrees on the trailing wheel as well. But on the OEM side, you're gonna see right around 32 degrees. What's interesting about that is factory suspension geometry has positive Ackerman. So you guys saw 40 degrees on the lead and you're seeing 32 degrees on the trail, giving you a positive Ackerman amount per side of 8 degrees. We're running a 0 degree Ackerman plate. So on our angle kit side, you're seeing 60 degrees of angle on the lead wheel and 60 degrees of angle on the trail wheel. How did we build this and how did we come up with it and all that? Honestly, I just started constraining points and connecting things and making stuff work based on the Corvette's travel range on my computer. We showed that in the first illustration, but from there we only had about half the package. I took the geometry from a 3D scan that I did of the Corvette, and then basically I duplicated it so that I would have 2 setups side by side. I then thought about how I would want to present this to somebody who would be walking by and looking at this at an event. And I figured a big handle that kind of looks like a handbrake would be best. So anyone walking by can grab that handle, give her a pull, and mess around with it. They can analyze it for themselves. They can look at what the differences are. So we had Cam come up with a lightweight base. So this is made out of 2-inch square tube aluminum, 1/8 wall thick. He TIG welded everything and made it look great. We ordered linear bearings off McMaster Car. Originally they were working great, but literally within a couple days they loosened up a bunch. So this setup at first was really nice and smooth here. And now we have a bunch of play within the bearing itself. So we built this guide. All this guide does is support this bar so that it doesn't deflect up or down. For future, we are definitely gonna need to just buy or get better linear bearings or change up the design of this. For now, this works great. It does what it needs to. You pull this lever and it pulls the linkages and it turns the angle kits. Both at the exact same amount. You can see that this bar is welded to these 2 pieces. These 2 pieces have 3 holes that are aligned with each other, perfectly parallel, and they are pushing on the linkage, which pulls on the steering shaft. This is 100% completely original. I don't think anyone else on the entire planet has ever done this or anything close to it. We've got the dial indicators 3D printed by Adaraj on our 3D printer. He catted this up, lined everything up so that it bolted to the bump stop plates, and a little arrow pointing to a nice protractor style dial, giving us a really good visual of what's going on. Another point that we can show off for this display is our newest products, which are actually going to be the solid uniball bearings that are going to replace all of the bushings inside of the factory control arms. This is going to be great for grip racing. As we venture into that market, we're going to be focusing on making kits like bushing to bearing replacements for racing applications, because a lot of these classes and a lot of these series rely on maintaining the factory suspension. So you actually have to run the factory suspension, and the only way to make it perform better is to take those really squishy bushings out of there. Other than that, this is kind of what the display looks like, how it works. We can't wait to show you guys and let you guys try it out at events like Grid Life and Hyperfest and all these PR type things, especially the Adam LZ World Tour. The Canadian one, we're gonna be there with this display. You'll be able to come up, grab this handle, give her a pull, and check out what we've developed here, what we've designed. It's got highlights of all of the components that we make, and you can check it out firsthand on a car. These things are really difficult to see under the fenders with a wheel and brakes and everything blocking it. So here you can check out exactly what this stuff looks like. And the ultimate goal is to sell you this product because it does what we say it does. It works really well. It's very strong. We understand what we're making and we can show it off on a display for you to see.